Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're going to be looking into the recent performances of one Kylian Mbappe, who's now just made his way to La Liga, playing for Real Madrid with huge expectations. This coming off of a season where he scored 44 goals, added 10 assists in 48 matches. I know a lot of Real Madrid fans were buzzing and ready to see a lot of goals fly in. However, with just 3 games in, he hasn't quite been living up to the lofty expectations that everybody has for him. So, was it just hype? Does he just need more time to settle in? We're going to break that down. So, one of the first debates that was had when Mbappe was at Madrid is whether he's going to be playing as a left winger or as a central striker. And this kind of confusion, I guess, tactically has contributed to his bit of a slow start that he's had. You also have to keep in mind that he is technically moving to a higher quality league in La Liga, which does roughly mean that he's going to be facing tougher opponents on average. And also keep in mind, it's only been 3 games and only 2 La Liga games. So this is hardly going to be a representation of how he's going to perform for the rest of the season. However, I just thought it would still be interesting just to look at what he's done. So, in his first 3 matches, we've seen a lot of interesting phenomena. And I think the where to obviously start in the most obvious one was the fact that Mbappe does like to play on the left. I mean, he did play his straight as a left winger, and in these first 3 matches, we have seen plenty of times where he tries to overlap with Vinny on the left side, or he and Vinny try to exchange positions on the left side, or they end up just passing to each other on the left side. And what this can do is create a little bit of overcrowding on that side of the field, just because, when they're both there, it makes it easier for the opponent to kind of constrict both of them to that one area. And you will even notice if you look at not necessarily last game because he did his average position was more central, but you can still see kind of some of the touches that he did have on the left side. He did have some on the right as well. Vinny obviously played most of his trade on the left side, but if you look at specifically the I believe it was when they played Mallorca, which I'm going to pull that game up right now. It was a lot more telling. So when you look at the average positions here for Madrid, you can clearly see just how much more on the left side of these two are compared to all of the other attacking players. And you can kind of see why this would be an issue because it would make it a lot easier to mark them out of the game and to stifle their creativity. So, that is something that Ancelotti is going to have to try to work around for both of these players just to make sure you can get the best out of both of them. So I want us to look at just kind of some footage because I think it's a lot easier to explain these things, with actual tape. But obviously, I don't want this video to get copyrighted, and so I'm just gonna have it kind of playing in the background as I kind of describe what's happening. So I hope you guys don't mind me doing it this way. And I've also slowed down the the um the video speed to also try to like not for it to fall within fair use. So this is the first clip I want to look at because this clip is kind of indicative of what I think Mbappe is going to have to really try to adjust for. So you see here in this clip that Militao has the ball. So, and you see obviously he passes it to Mbappe here. So I'm going to stop the clip here. And the reason why this is important is because Mbappe, is receiving the ball a lot deeper in the central areas that I think he would like to. And he's receiving the pass, more frequently with his back to goal, which I think is the even more, important part of this talking point. Whereas if you know the type of player that Mbappe is, and you know the kind of areas he likes to operate in, you would know that, Mbappe likes the actual byline. He likes to be able to receive the ball. Just pretend this is Mbappe. I know this is not PSG colors and it's not his number, but that's fine. Like say this is Mbappe. Mbappe likes to receive the ball in on the byline to isolate fullbacks. I'm sorry, I actually messed up this thing. This is defender. So yeah, he likes to receive the ball here to isolate fullbacks because that way, right? Like if he gets to go past the fullback, he's on his way to goal. So he doesn't really like to receive it in within these spaces because now he has two center backs that he has to worry about, and he has his back turned, so he has to actually turn his back and then try to maneuver around the defenders. So that's a lot more actions, you know, to have to do. Also, keep in mind that when he's in the middle, so now pretending this is Mbappe, right? When he's in the middle, he has a lot more congestion to worry about because not only does he have to worry about the center backs, but he also has to worry about the midfielders, whether that be one holding midfielder or a pivot, as opposed to if he was on the wings where he can just isolate um, with less opponents to deal with. So, I think these are kind of just growing pain issues that he's going to have to overcome, especially in a league like La Liga where there is more physicality. And I think another thing to keep in mind as well is even when Mbappe doesn't have the ball, right? Even when he doesn't have the ball. So we're going back to pretending that this for is Mbappe. He likes to make, either runs on the byline this way, or he also likes making runs diagonally this way. And the advantage that he has is that if he makes it this way, then again, only player he has to worry about initially is the fullback. And if you can get past him, then he might have to worry about the center back. Or if he makes the diagonal run, then he's going to split the two and only have to worry about the center back as he gets the ball on the way to goal. So he doesn't really have that luxury playing at striker because now he has two center backs to worry about. He also has to help, making sure that his team can interlink the ball between the whichever winger is there or whichever midfielder wants to play with him. And he just has more responsibility in terms of being a hub for the team. So he can't really just decide to make runs as much as he would want to when he was at PSG. Okay, so going back to the talking point of why him and Vinny shouldn't be overlapping on the same side. I mean, I don't even think I need to play this clip for you guys to see exactly what's wrong with this, right? So you look at what's going on here. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Mallorca players against what's essentially what Mbappe, Vinny, and I believe this is Tuchemeni. I definitely butchered his name. I don't care how good of a passer you are, how good of a crosser you are. It's going to be very difficult for you to get the ball around 7 players when you don't even have both sides of the field to do it at. I mean, seriously, like, look at this. Like, what real option does he have? He doesn't really have anything. So he can't really, like I said earlier, he can't really play towards the left, even though I know he likes it there because it's just not really realistic, right? Like, it's not going to be what's best for the team. So he's going to have to figure out how to play at striker if he wants to, win trophies at Real Madrid. Now, in terms of what I think he needs to do to, thrive as striker, I mean, I think he just needs to do a couple things. One, he can kind of go back to what he used to do at PSG when he played striker, where, yeah, he still, had to drop a little bit even when he played centrally, even though I know he didn't really like playing striker in the first place. But typically, what he would try to do was make, outside runs around the center back, this way, because what this does is, this essentially makes it so he is either a dragging the center back out for one of his midfielders to make a run with the ball if they can get past the holding midfielder, which can then lead to them playing him in for a shot, or this can allow him to what's it called, get balls from over the top to do that. It just kind of helps to take the center back off of their pivot. Probably not the best word, but just kind of get them out of rhythm. So I think that would be one thing he could do. Another thing I think he needs to do is just be more patient with his teammates to find him, for passes. Because you have to keep in mind, like he's playing with some of the best dribblers in the world, in Vinny, Rodrigo, Golaire when he plays, even Bellingham as well. So he is doing them a bigger favor by, waiting here in the middle, giving them as much space as they need to cook so that they can find him, right? Like he just needs to be more patient. I like because I've also noticed that he likes to just drift too much, and obviously it can probably be a little bit frustrating, playing winger when you feel like you're not getting enough service. But if he can trust in his teammates more to find him and make more of those outside runs like he used to do at PSG, there's no reason why you can't have a great season. And the last thing is just, making more blindsided runs. Like he loves doing that at PSG. And I do have one more clip. I forgot which game it was, but it was probably the best chance he's had in La Liga as of right now. Um, just to show what he's probably going to continue to do in order to, you know, eventually thrive. So this is the last clip that I'm going to play. Has probably been Mbappe's best chance at scoring in La Liga, so far into his tenure. And so if you look here, right, so Vinny has this fullback completely occupied, and not just that, you can see these two fullbacks are looking exactly at what he's going to do because they're worried about the space he can go into if he ends up dribbling past their fullback. And Mbappe is smart enough to see that their attention's occupied, and he makes what? A blind-sided run. So if we see what happens here, Vinny knows that the fullback is trying to show him down here because he's worried about him cutting inside. So he does a really, really nice Trivela, I want to say cross, that skirts across the ground. And both these defenders were too busy watching Vinny, so definitely were not expecting a pass like that. And then by the time they turn around, Mbappe is already um, at a really good angle to score. And unfortunately for him, he kind of just like I don't know, his body position was not in a good angle to really like hit the ball perfectly. So he just hits it at the goalkeeper, and obviously it doesn't go in. But if he makes more movement, when he makes more movements like that, you best believe that he's going to eventually score those. And I think part of why he missed that was just because it was a lack of chemistry between him and Vinny. So he probably wasn't expecting Vinny to get out the pass that quickly. So it'll definitely be something that I think will come correct over the season. But I just wanted to bring this clip up because this is a prime example of what I was talking about in terms of just giving his teammates space and time to cook, essentially. Because, right, he has, like I said, teammates that know how to get past people, know how to get on the ball. So I just think that he needs to just be patient down the middle, and the chances will come, right? So that just kind of wraps up my analysis for Mbappe's first 3 games. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How do you feel about his position? Do you think he should stay as a striker, or do you think he should go back to left wing? Do you think maybe they should try what they did last year where they had 2 strikers up top? How do you think the goals are going to come? So if you liked the video, please do that. Don't forget to subscribe for more football content, and I will catch you on the next one.